Extreme to catastrophic fire dangers forecast for parts of South Australia and Victoria on Wednesday. We can see that here looking at the fire danger ratings. While it looks pretty benign today with only moderate to high fire dangers, tomorrow is our focus as we see hot, dry and windy conditions combined with temperatures in the high 30s to low 40s and very dry air. And because of that, we see extreme fire dangers for much of eastern South Australia, including the Mount Lofty Ranges, and for much of western and central Victoria. We're also forecasting catastrophic fire dangers in the Wimmera district. That means if any fires do get going, they will be uncontrollable and uncontainable. So very dangerous conditions setting up through not only here, but much of eastern South Australia and western and central Victoria as these hot, dry, windy conditions ahead of a cold front bring these extreme to catastrophic fire dangers. Now there's two things driving that. Firstly, it's the heat. The focus today of that heat is through South Australia. We're seeing temperatures in the low to mid 40s, maybe reaching the high 40s in western parts of South Australia. Ceduna going at 45 degrees today, but notice many inland areas in the high 30s. Then that heat shifts into New South Wales and Victoria on Wednesday as those northerly winds drag down that heat. Looking at 44 at Mildura, 38 at Melbourne, and not so hot, but still 31 degrees in Hobart. So some areas around Melbourne could approach 40 degrees as well. Then as we move into Thursday, the heat will focus into New South Wales, Sydney looking at 37, approaching 40 degrees in those suburbs. So it's this heat combined with that strong and gusty winds. And that's all thanks to a cold front moving through South Australia today and tonight, bringing a cool change to Ceduna later this evening, and then it'll move across the state overnight, bringing those cooler conditions to Adelaide in the early morning hours of Wednesday morning, then slowly moving into western parts of the state around lunchtime, and you can see that really hot air being dragged down out ahead of that, but those cooler west to southwesterly winds in behind it. Then as we move through the day, we'll see the heat really starting to build through parts of Victoria and inland New South Wales, with many areas at or above 40 degrees. Then that cool change approaching central parts of Victoria, including the Melbourne area around that 8 and 9 o'clock time frame. And then we'll see that front move into Tasmania and eastern parts of Victoria as we move through Wednesday night into the early hours of Thursday morning, with the heat then focusing through New South Wales on Thursday. Now rainfall wise, little if any is forecast with this system as we're tapping into some very dry continental air across the southeast. So note you can see here almost no rainfall expected with this front as it moves through South Australia. So a fair bit of cloud, but little if any rainfall. That's going to be mostly concentrated offshore. Then as we move through the day on Wednesday, a similar story, but note we just do see a few little areas of shower and thunderstorm activity. So we could see some high base showers and dry thunderstorms developing through western and southwestern parts of Victoria on Wednesday. And that's dangerous because this could start more fires. And we already know there's some dangerous fires already ongoing through parts of Victoria. So that's something we're going to be watching closely tomorrow. Then we'll see that front continue to move into central parts of the state as we move through the day, but note very little rainfall through Victoria, though we could see some showers mostly on the west coast through parts of Tasmania. So with a dangerous fire weather day on the way across southeastern parts of the country, it is vital that you stay up to date with the latest forecasts and warnings via our website, app and social media. And if any fires do get going, listen to all advice from emergency services.